try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
What's going on, guys? It's Turkey. Welcome back to episode 3 of my F1 2016 career mode with Hass on my channel. So you might be wondering how I finished first in Bahrain, and that was because earlier on today I was recording, or at least I thought I was, and I managed to finish first in Turkey and Bahrain, but then obviously I realised I wasn't recording, so basically you won't be able to see what happened in that race, but I finished first. Thought I'd show you that I did there, looking in the trophy room. Obviously I finished 5th in Australia. I've now put it up to hard as well, so this race and all the races now from now on after China and all that, including China obviously, is going to be on hard difficulty, and I'm also going to be doing a full qualifying session, so we're going to have Q1, Q2, Q3 and obviously Q4 as well. Anyway, not Q4, the Q1, Q2, and Q3, sorry, not Q4, it doesn't exist. Following that win, we managed to get up to 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, 5 points now behind the Rosberg, and only 1 behind Hamilton, so that's that. And in the Constructors, we are 2nd, 39 points behind Mercedes, and a couple points ahead of Ferrari, which is nice to see. I also spent 600 resource points on upgrading our crankshaft. Basically it's going to give us a bit more speed. As you can see right there, we'll actually have our straight line speed to be actually faster than McLaren, which is good to see as well. That aside though, let me skip down to qualifying, and I'll be back to you guys in just a second. Okay, so before we get into the qualifying session of the weekend here in China, we have a new rival. We managed to obviously beat Romain Grosjean in Bahrain. Obviously you didn't see that, but I did manage to beat Grosjean and exceed the team expectations of how I do up against him. And now, for some reason, my new rival is Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion who drives for Ferrari. So, yeah, this will be pretty difficult trying to outdo him, especially now that we're on hard. We got a voicemail right here, probably from my agent, so here we go, let's listen to this.
Qualifying goals for this weekend.
So we need to qualify 13 for above and qualify above Vettel and beat Romain Grosjean. Surely it would be more logical for them to perhaps say that I should try and have a rival like Magnussen or someone, but Vettel, and to finish above Vettel, that's going to be pretty difficult. But there we are, our rival is now Sebastian Vettel, and obviously we need to outdo him this weekend. Let's now get into the qualifying one, and I'll be back with you guys when I get there.
World, you join us today for this F1 qualifying session here in Shanghai, China. I was looking at some highlights of previous races here, and the one thing that really stood out to me was the run down to turn 1. It's not an easy one to navigate, as everyone is scrapping to get into there first.
We've seen in the past how tricky the first corner is. It's not an issue in practice in qualifying, but if you throw a lot of highly competitive drivers at
there he is, the legendary rear Harrienzo.
Different situation.
And if you're watching that, I thought I'd leave it on just for a moment or two. Look at the session info then. Obviously nobody on track right now, a bit cloudy, but it is what it is. Let's go straight out there then and see how we get on. Let's do a flying lap. Obviously if we get to Q3 then I'll do a drive out lap and go around the circuit first before setting a lap time, but we'll wait for that to occur if we get to Q3. Obviously now that we're on now that we're on hard, it might not be as straightforward getting into Q3, maybe even Q2, so we're going to have to make sure we definitely up our game now that I'm bumping up to hard. And depending on how we do here, I might even put up another difficulty that we'll have to see. Now obviously this episode I need to remember obviously to not leave it on rich for the whole entire lap, because now I've run out of fuel. Obviously if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's what happened in Australia. I was winning the race and then ended up finishing 5th after running out of fuel on the start-finish straight on lap 5. I do hate this first corner here in China. In contrast to how I enjoy Bahrain quite a lot, I really don't like this track. It's not one of my strongest. Neither is Australia, to be honest with you. There are a few tracks out there I do like. I don't really hate all F1 track like obviously I've just made clear. Anyway, I believe we've got our teammate Grosjean ahead of us right there. Yeah, he's obviously on a lap as well. So we don't want to interfere with him if he is on one. We just want to stay behind him, but we are quite far behind him for now, so we don't really have to worry about trying to overtake him or anything. I wonder if it'll obviously be as straightforward for us getting like P1 or on all that stuff that obviously you did see occur when we were in Australia and when I was doing qualifying. I can only apologise for what happened about you not seeing the Bahrain Grand Prix. I filled in what happened. I managed to win the race and all that, so it is what it is right there. And things that do happen, I just for some reason completely forgot I was recording, and yeah, bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. It won't happen again, obviously. So Ricardo at the minute set the fastest lap of this qualifying session, Q1 here, 142.3. That's pretty much the benchmark we have to try and beat. Now in the DRS zone, one of two that you get obviously per track. You know, wide open in the DRS. Hopefully, obviously, we can set a competitive lap time, or just a lap time will solidify our place into getting out of Q1 and getting into Q2, which is obviously what we want. One of my teammates going to go with his lap time. Obviously, he's no longer our rival. And it's a 1:43.2, so just pretty much a second slower than what Ricardo's time was. Let's head back to the garage for now. And obviously, should we need to go and set another lap, I will. You know, at the moment it's too early to call if that's a good lap or not. And the track's pretty busy right now, sorry, as you can probably tell. So we are 7th at the moment. I'll keep an eye on that, but I will go ahead and skip time and see how that does with us. You know, I won't go out again unless I have to. Well, I will stop it right there. Let's have a little look where I am. Yeah, I'm 13th. For now, I won't go out. Doesn't look like it's a necessity for now. We are falling down though. Okay. There's 15 minutes. Well, not 15 minutes. Like 1 minute left. There is. And obviously, we don't actually have enough time to go out and do another lap now. So we have to make do. With 15 at the moment, unless someone manages to beat it. Hopefully they don't, and they don't. And we do luckily get through into Q2. Both Grosjean and I managed to get through a bit of skin of our teeth. So, you know, that's how different it can be when you bump it up to hard. We were going from always getting you know, P1s and all that in Australia when we was on medium, and now we put on bump to the hard. We literally only managed to get through to Q2 by the skin of our teeth. So, you know, you can definitely tell how different it is when you bump up the difficulty, as obviously we did just see. So we're on to lean at the moment. We're not on obviously our lap yet, so no need to put it into Rich. Definitely gonna have to put a better lap in this time around in Q2, because that time probably isn't going to be good enough to get us into Q3, and I'm thinking we might have to do more than one run in this particular qualifying session. We got lucky in terms of only having to have to do one in that previous qualifying session. And I'll also mention, as I begin my lap here, if you're wondering what's up with my voice, I do have a cold, so I can only apologise about that, but I didn't want to go without recording, so yeah, that's why I'm recording, despite obviously me having a cold and, you know, my voice obviously sounding like it is. Anyway, let's not get bogged down by that or anything. We've got our rival ahead of us now. For some reason this guy's our rival, Sebastian Vettel. He's just come out to the pits, so he's not going to be on a lap at the moment. So hopefully he will just get out of our way for us, which would be nice of him, because we are on a lap and obviously we don't want to be interfering with Vettel and for him to be interfering with us, but I don't think we're actually getting close enough to, you know, think about getting past him. And I'm awful at this track, so yeah. Just hope obviously we can put in a solid lap time in comparison to how we did in Q1, because like I said, we literally only got through the skin of our teeth. What actually could be benefit of being behind Vettel, we could actually get his slipstream, we could help us going quicker actually. I know we've sitting rich pretty much the whole lap, but we have enough fuel obviously to do one lap here. And obviously when we go back to the garage, they will refuel us and all that. So we are, yeah, he is moving over. I think, no he's not now. We're going to have to go out to the right hand side here, taking over Vettel. Has to be done. He's not on the lap and I am. So there we are, just to check behind us, he's okay, he is. There we are, he's backed out of it anyway, so that's good. Help him setting the fastest lap of this particular qualifying session right there. 141.3, open the DRS, and we set a 142.5. 1.2 seconds slower than Hamilton's time. We'll check back to the garage now and see if that time is good enough to get us into Q3. We'll see if it isn't, then we will have to go out and run again. So we're 6 at the moment. That's probably going to change. I might have to go out here again. Yeah, I'm going to have to, yeah. Yep. Because I have dropped down to 8th, so there is a possibility, obviously, that I could be knocked out here if I don't go out again. And I don't want to risk, obviously, not going out again and just relying on the one run. So yeah, we're going to have to go out again. Only in 8th place. I mean, this is, you know, something that's going to happen now that we've bumped up the hard. I'm going to go for a lunge on Rosberg here, just for the fun of it. So you won't mind. Nope, he's going to pass, obviously. Oh well, it doesn't really matter, it's not the race. Obviously Rosberg, having now retired, has been replaced by Bottas, so you know, if you do follow F1, what do you think about that? As we begin our second run here in Q2. Track's getting pretty busy, obviously everyone wanted to try and better their laps. Our Perez in 15th, he could be someone who's going to, you know, be setting a better lap this time around than what he's obviously previously done. And this is obviously one of the issues when you go out and run when there's a lot of cars on track. Perez has let Rosberg pass there. You slow down very, very strangely. I do desperately want to get past Rosberg here. I have managed to, which is good. Got a few yellow flags for some reason. I'm not really sure what's going on. Someone had a bit of a mistake. I could obviously check if I wanted to, but it's not on this necessity. You know, I've only got 2 minutes left of this session, so gotta hope that this is a good lap. I don't know if it has been. You know, I've just gone wide here, so that's gonna add a few seconds on top of my time at the ends. I think we're quite a lot slower than we have been. I mean, yeah, 2.8 seconds almost. That's not because we're battling with Rosberg to just try and get ahead of him. I've got a bit wide there as well, so again, that isn't good for us either. I don't think this is going to be a good enough lap to better our 8th place. We're just going to have to obviously hope that other drivers out there don't better their laps and we manage to hold on to this P8. Unless we are able to pick up the time here in this final part of the lap. They're talking about behind me. So yeah, not an improvement on our previous lap. We're going to go for another one. Obviously, if the time runs out, we will still be able to complete our lap. I know, or obviously on some F1 games before, once that time ran out and you were still doing the lap, then you know your lap was over and you know that's it, your stuff pretty much. I'm not sure why Rosberg is still actually doing laps. I thought, you know, he'd go back into the pits now. I mean, he's pretty much sorted in terms of him getting through the Q3. I feel like this is a better lap at the moment. Obviously, if we get into Q3 with these tyres, these will be the tyres we'll be starting the race on. Got to bear that in mind. Obviously, if you finish outside the top 10, and you finish 11, for example, you will get to choose which tyres you start the race on. Bit of info, I suppose, for you out there who don't obviously know a lot about F1. Checker flags now out, so this will literally be the only chance now we're going to have to improve our lap yet, but we are still in 8th place. We are still holding on to this chance of getting into Q3. Raikkonen ahead of us in 7th, and obviously Rosberg has got that 141.1. There's pretty much a benchmark for people to try and beat. But obviously it's all about really getting into Q3 at the moment. Wherever you finish in this session in the top 10 won't matter. I think it's definitely a better lap, but whether it'll be good enough to mount a challenge, we'll have to see. So there we are. Let's have a look at where we got. We got set up to 6. That's not too bad. 6th place in Q2. We're into Q3. So not too shabby, as you see right there. Managed to do 141.6. And fortunately for us, our teammate Grosjean didn't make it in through into Q3, but we do. So, you know, so far a pretty successful weekend, if you ask me. And if we can perhaps get above 5th place or maybe even 6th, then it will be an even better weekend, if you ask me. So we'll drive that now, we won't. I did obviously say I was going to do that for Q3, and I am. Obviously running with the tyres that we did have in Q2. That's the rules in F1, and we are now ready to come out. Obviously pretty nice having a Haas in Q3, and not too bad if you ask me. A lot more exciting as well, obviously, instead of just constantly getting P1 all the time in races. So, you know, definitely more enjoyable if you ask me. No, I'm not going to try and push Ricardo here. It won't make a difference if I get past him or anything. Now, again in Q3 here, like it was in Q2, we might have to go for 2 runs or maybe even 3. Because obviously what they tend to do in F1 in reality is go out right to the start of the session, normally do a run there, and then with like 2 or 3 minutes left, all the drivers will go out again and try to better their times. So I'm guessing we're going to have to probably go ahead with that strategy in this Q3 session here in Shanghai in China. And obviously I am recording now, so no worries if I'm missing this one. And yeah, season not gone too bad so far. 5th place in Australia, 1st in Bahrain, and, you know, still to be determined obviously where we'll finish here. The team expected me to only get 13th, and obviously we have exceeded their expectations, and hopefully we can qualify Vettel and get, or you know, just finish above him actually in more simpler terms. Because obviously he's our new rival. Again, I don't really know why he is. I mean, he is in pretty much another league compared to. I mean, he's driving the car. This is a completely another league compared to this one. But yeah, I mean, I suppose they want to challenge us and see if we are able to tackle the big boys. And obviously, depending on how we do, we might get a contract offer from a team like Ferrari offering for the season if we constantly keep finishing in the top 10 in the races that we're obviously taking part in, which hopefully is going to be all of them. So here we are. We're starting our first lap here in Q3. Did pretty well getting into Q3 here, considering I'm not the biggest fan of this track, and I am glad I bumped up the hard. Like I said, it's providing me with much more of a challenge than you know, being a medium was. I'm not sure I put a medium in first place, to be honest with you, and it's a lot more enjoyable, I think, when you bump it up to difficulty and really test yourself. And we do a 27.9 in the first sector. Obviously, that's not something that we can say is good, not because I think I'm literally the only one who's on a lap right now. As long as we manage obviously to maybe get into the top 6, I won't be too happy. I won't be moaning or anything. I'll be quite content with that. Look forward on Thursday, obviously, if you're new around here, to if Miss Gax is being uploaded. Obviously I don't upload on a Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And obviously look forward to this being uploaded again next Tuesday, where I believe we'll be heading to Russia, if I'm correct in remembering what track's after this one. Thankfully as well, it's a lovely day here in China. Normally it tends to rain when I come here when I'm not recording or anything, but we got pretty lucky in this qualifying session, but obviously God knows what's going to happen in the race. And it'll also be coming up soon in this episode for 2016 career mode. I think obviously it's good as well having 5 laps. Don't want to do 25%, it will take a heck of a lot longer than like 20 minutes to record and all that. I think 20 minutes is adequate enough for an episode of this series. Anyway, that put to one side, we have set a 141.9. So that's the fastest lap obviously of the session so far, but nobody else has actually set a lap yet. So let's just sit back in the garage for now, wait a couple minutes, and then see if we obviously have to go out again, or will that be good enough? And nope, that's not very good in comparison to how everyone else has done. So here we are. Skip forward to about 4 minutes remaining. Don't want to go back and look at that. Let's go back to the track and let's do a flying lap this time instead of driving out. Limited in terms of how much time we have now. We are 8th place again, I do believe. So if we can, or 7th actually, if we can obviously aim to try and get into the top 6, that would be nice. But obviously we are already exceeding the team's expectations, so wherever we finish, I'll be quite content. And we're in Q3 as well, which is even nice. Even nicer actually. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds actually, not 4 minutes that I presume that we did actually have. They did say we had left in this session. So, you know, I think we might have enough time to do 2 laps, but it might only go down to 1. Anyway, starting our second run here now in Q3 in China. We are currently 7th, with Bottas ahead of us and Daniel Ricciardo behind us, the Australian. He's still at Red Bull for 2017 alongside Max Verstappen. Hamilton then set a 27.8 for the first sector. How are we going to match up against his time? And we do a 27.8, was it? No? We were 2 thousandths of a second slower than Hamilton was in that first sector, but still it's good data to build on in terms of now hopefully being able to match how he's done in the second sector, which was 58.5. God, made a bit of a meal of that, managed to just save the car, but that will lose us a bit of time in this sector. I took it way too much curb there and almost slid off the track, so that might hinder how we do in this particular sector against Hamilton's time. And we set a 1 minute, so we're 2 seconds slower than him in that particular sector, so that might hinder how our final time is at the end of this session. So we obviously just got to hope here that we managed to put in a good third sector. Conditions looking fine, as my engineer just told me whilst I was talking. Hopefully we're able to make up time in this final sector. I don't actually believe we're going to be able to have enough time to go for another lap here, and that's a no. Checker flag is out, and that is the end of the Q3. You got over 2 minutes to finish your laps, but that will be the end of Q3 for us. It looks like we've qualified in P7. Not too shabby if you ask me. Obviously a lot more realistic than us being on pole in a Haas. So not bad. 7th place, starting behind Bottas and in front of Ricciardo. So yeah, definitely got a benchmark of where we hope to obviously finish in the race when that comes around. Not too shabby if you ask me, not too shabby indeed. As you would believe, Vettel is beating us in terms of the rival we have against him. He's beating us 6:30 in comparison to us having 3:30. So yeah, I'm not really surprised that he's beating us in that concept. He's a much quicker car than us. But we managed to beat the goals and beat Grosjean. So that's good to see as well. Got a voicemail now from our agents.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
So the race goals, we need to beat Romain Grosjean, place higher in the race standings than Sebastian Vettel, and finish 11th in the race or higher. And obviously our Drivers' Championship target was as it was in Australia, and that's to finish 15th or above. I'll be back with you guys in just a second, and yeah, let's get to the race. Here we go then. It's time for the start of the race here in China, and away we go. Hopefully we manage to finish above 11th here and remain in the top 10. It's going to be a challenge in comparison to how quick all these other guys are in comparison to me. How goes the hand right there? Not particularly sure why Bottas is launching one down our inside. Managed to touch wheels with Verstappen. Got a bit all over the place right there. Have a bit of contact, so we're down into 9th place behind Ricciardo. Not the best start for us at the moment. Although we're going to try a lunge down Ricciardo's inside. Hope for the best. And I believe that hasn't worked out. No, that's a shame. Well, not the best of starts for us. We started obviously 7th and we've lost 2 positions already. So a bit of a bum. We got into a bit of a altercation with Bottas and Verstappen. We touched wheels, and I was going to obviously come worse off, unfortunately. As long as we manage to stay close to Ricciardo, we'll be sorted. We've got Grosjean behind us, our teammate. If we can stay 10th, that'd be quite nice as well for us, if both fastest can get points. And obviously we'll bump it up to Rich now we get onto this straight. Obviously gotta hope that Grosjean doesn't try and take over us here. He's going to go for it. He's obviously got a better run out here than I have. We're going to try and launch from down Ricciardo's inside. Is it going to work this time? I don't know. He's managed to get the better of us for now. It's pretty much neck and neck. I believe we got a better of Daniel Ricciardo. Yes, we have. We managed to take 8th place back off him. And yeah, now we're after Felipe Massa. We set a 150.1 for our first lap time here in the race in China. Pretty hectic start if you ask me. But Bottas, Verstappen and Massa ahead of us. We're all pretty bunched up, so maybe we could be on for a good result here, depending if we can get past these guys. They're obviously a lot quicker than us, but we're quite strong in the corners in comparison to how we do in a straight line, obviously. Obviously, I'm managing my fuel management this time. I don't want to be running out of fuel again, like we did obviously in Australia. Managed to take over Massa right there, although it was going to be pretty close to see who's going to keep this position, and we managed to get a better Felipe Massa for now, and we're up to 7th, the man who actually retired from F1 but now came back after Bottas went to Mercedes. It's nice to see Felipe staying, and now we're on to the back of Max Verstappen, and onto the back of these two guys. Obviously we had a bit of an altercation on the first lap, so we're now in the position that we started at. Alright, we're going to go down the inside of Max Verstappen. Clean move. And now Bottas, if we can get him, we go round his outside. He might get a better of us and fight us forward though. And he has for now. Go a bit wide there, so that will invite Verstappen. And he's literally smacking me as hard as he possibly can. And I'm out. Okay, that was unexpected. Now, if you go on board with Verstappen, I think you'll find this probably was my fault. We got pushed out wide a bit by Bottas, and I don't know, maybe I went into his field of view, so maybe that's my fault, I don't know. Literally up with the big boys now. These guys are so much quicker compared to how quick this Haas is. And, man. Didn't want this happening when I was recording. Oh, man. This ain't good. I think we're just going to have to let him pass. I think that's the only way we're going to get out of this unscathed. Because it didn't really seem like there was any other way to try and get past those guys without hitting them. So as annoying as that is, it is what it is. Going to try another lunge down the inside of these two right here. We're actually going free abreast. You could cut the corner there, but the team they didn't give me a penalty or anything, and we're warning for doing that. We're up to 6th place, and as long as we can keep those guys behind me now, that'll be key. Obviously, I can only apologise for some stuff like that happening. But sometimes stuff like that does happen, and is what it is, to be honest with you. The RS is now being enabled, so hopefully if we can stay close to Bottas, we'll be able to use that against him. And the DRS is key for us, because that Williams is obviously much quicker in a straight line than we are. And this Haas is going horribly wide through there. And that might give Ricciardo a few ideas there to try and lunge one up our inside. But we're in 6th at the moment. In the position above where we started, 1.5 seconds behind Bottas, and they're just staying in front of Ricciardo, and Grosjean's in 8th place as well. So at the moment both passes on for some decent points, although it'll be a bit of a challenge for us to try and obviously keep a grasp on the P2 we have in the constructors at the moment. I don't think we're going to win the constructors standing. I mean, most of the time the top two is always Hamilton and Rosberg, so I mean that's probably out of the window and out of actually happening. Hoping we're close enough to Bottas here to mount a challenge. Obviously, it's a much smoother ride through here this time around in comparison to how it went last time. But we're probably going to see Ricciardo overtake us here because, like I said, he's so quick compared to who we are. We're going to have DRS, which might assist us a little bit. I don't like how close he's getting to us. I mean, DRS coming into effect right there, and we managed to stay ahead of him thanks to that DRS. So holding off the Australian for now. Checking a few bits on the car, dropping under standard. Rosberg taking the fastest lap of the race. Still got DRS on Bottas here. Hopefully we can get past him as we enter the penultimate lap of the race. He's leaving a bit of a gap, to be fair to him, he is. For us to possibly go in and take. So we could have got a nice exit out of that corner there and maybe taken him, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, so we're going to have to make do with 6 for now. We'll go for a lunge here. This hasn't worked, has it? Yes, it has actually, so we are in 5th place at the moment. But actually it's Raikkonen, but I think we can pretty much assume we're not going to catch Raikkonen, and 5th place is about as high as we're going to get if we can hold on to this position. Those guys are right behind me, and they are literally going to blitz past me as we get onto the start-finish. Well, the long straight, so not the start-finish straight. So we've got a lap to go with this as well, so this 5th place isn't in the bag yet. It's confirmation right there. Raikkonen's almost 6.2 seconds ahead of us, so don't think we're going to catch Raikkonen. But I think we can be happy with 5th place if we can hold on to it for now. Gonna have to put it up in the restricts because these guys are going to take over me pretty easily. They both got DRS, and there we are, they've both taken us. They've both taken me, sorry. We're going to go onto the right here. If we can try and outbrake them, outdo them here, and it looks like that has been the case. I know I cut the corner, didn't get a warning for it though. Ricardo and Bottas going neck and neck. Hopefully them fighting will give me time to get away here, and it has worked out for me at the moment. Throw back on Antolini, still squabbling. Bottas has still got the better of him. Final lap of the race then. Obviously, to be fair to Grosjean, as you hear from my engineer right there, Grosjean's only 2.2 seconds behind me, so maybe Grosjean can get in and interfere with this little bad here. Would be pretty nice. Well, as you can see, he's right to the back of this little train that I'm forming here. And yeah, definitely this 5th place isn't in the bag yet, especially with Bottas and Ricardo behind us. Worst comes to it, we're going to have to try that lunge again like we did just do when they both took over us with the DRS that they have, because I'm not going to be able to build a second gap when we get to the DRS zone. I mean, it just won't happen. At least we're managing our fuel properly this race, and there's no chance that we're going to run out of fuel, like obviously it happened in Australia, which was obviously annoying, but I completely forgot that I had left it on in Rich. Makes me go very wide there, so that I can invite Bottas, try and get past us, put it up to Rich just for now. Try and stay ahead of him. Man, this is tense. 10 seconds to... yeah, Raikkonen, I mean, no chance of us getting past him now. It's just no chance at all. Bumping up to Rich early. Don't want to go wide there. And I've gone a bit wide. Already, and invited Bottas to take over me. Also, I will not have DRS because I entered the DRS zone behind Bottas. We're going to have to try a lunge on him. That's the only thing we're going to do. One thing that's going to hopefully get us a P5. And we tried the lunge and it does work for now. And as we take over Bottas, Rosberg wins the race. But obviously that's something that doesn't have anything to do with us. And we managed to finish 5th place here then in China in our Haas. Not a bad drive if you ask me. Our first was on hard and we finished 5th place. So yeah, a lot more exciting than obviously us dominating the race all the time and getting a consistent top P1 finishes. And here are the podium drivers. Arrival right there doing me there, obviously. That's all. Hamilton and Rosberg on the podium now. We finished 5th place, started 7th, so we didn't do too bad. Got 2 positions. We gained 2 positions in comparison to where we started. We are still 3rd place in Rosberg getting driven today, apparently. Don't really know how that works. We managed to keep hold of 3rd place in the driver's standings with 45 points. We're now 11 points behind not Nico Rosberg, 11 points. He's 11 points behind Rosberg, sorry, I'm 20 points behind Rosberg. So, yeah, Vettel's catching us as well, and, you know, no matter podiums he's going to get, we're probably going to lose this P3 position that we have in the driver standings in the coming races. In terms of constructors, as I would have assumed, Scuderia Ferrari taking over us, and we got on the 3rd of the driver standings, constructor standings, sorry. But, you know, it is what it is. Ferrari are always going to be getting their drivers into the top 10, getting points, consistent races. Although, for us, you know, it might be every now and then the Grosjean will finish in the top 10 like he did in that race. So, getting some more resource points. We've got 240 right there now. So, look at the rivalry update. Obviously, going to be losing it. Penalty free, yes, for both of us. He also managed to beat me in pretty much every other single category that he could beat me on. Finished 11th or above. We beat Romain Grosjean, and we are still 15th or higher, so we are still above our target. Let's have a look at how our career score now fares. Obviously, he went up a considerable amount up. He won the race in Bahrain. Obviously, he didn't see because I forgot to record it. Anyway, we're now on 17,000 points right there. And yeah, that pretty much brings an end to this 3rd episode of my F1 2016 career mode on my channel. At the start of the next episode, you'll obviously see that new engine upgrade that I did do on our engine be implemented. Up next, then, you have Sochi, as I did say earlier on in the episode. And yeah, 2 5th place finishes and a win in Bahrain. So not too bad, and not too bad of a weekend we did have on hard difficulty in China this year. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me, guys. Take care of yourselves. I'll be back next Tuesday for this series. Look forward to Infamous Gangsters being uploaded on Thursday. And yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. Peace. Yeah.